Hello, hello, crafty friends. Stacy here. It is November 1st. I cannot believe we are almost done with 2025. So today is Saturday, November 1st, the first Saturday of the month, which means I have made it through the entire year of all my card classes. This is my last online virtual card class for 2025. I cannot believe it. I've done 11 classes. Every month I have met you here online the first Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So, welcome, welcome. My name is Stacy, Crafty Diva USA. That's where you can find me everywhere on social media. So what I have for you today is my Peace on Earth card making class. So I had lots of fun with this class. The last 3 months I've been doing Christmas card making. So I was like, all right, I'm done now. Let's move on to something else. So this has been out for a few months now, but also right now, today, the dies are on back order, but they do come in. If you're watching this video on replay, November 2020, November 24th, 2025, the dies will be in. Everything else is orderable today. What's great is if you place an order throughout the month of November with me on my online store for Stampin' Up, you will automatically receive the kit in the mail, and all you need to complete the kit would only be the stamp set, and that is available, or you can substitute with any stamp you have in your stash, but you will get all the bits and pieces to create this card, including embossing, dies, and cardstock, elements, ribbon. I didn't use any ribbon in this. This is my first card class. I don't think I used any ribbon, but everything to create the cards will come in my class. And again, that's $50. Or you can head over to my website, craftydivausa.com. I sell all of my kits any time of the year, as well as my instant downloadable tutorials. So when you receive my kit, they'll come with a flyer like this, which will link you to a PDF. You just scan that, and that PDF will bring you to my tutorial, and you can print this out or you can just look at it on your device. So if you're new here, let me show you a little bit about my tutorials. After this video airs today, I will upload it to YouTube, and the link will be here. So with my tutorial, it's full color. You'll receive a supply list for everything I used. You'll also receive full pictures with the cutting diagram. So I don't really go into the cutting today because that's part of my class. And then you will have step-by-step assembly directions for each card. So that's what you'll receive if you do pick up my card kit for free or by purchase. All right, enough about that. Welcome, welcome. If you're here with me, say hi. Hey, Jean. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much as well. Jean loves my card kits. I think you have gotten every one of my card kits. So I love that. Okay, but let's go through Peace on Earth here. So this sentiment stamp set is absolutely great. Lots of great sentiments to keep in your stash. And I personally need some sympathy cards, and I didn't have any, and I love that font. So you have that. You can create this also and make this more holiday-ish, non-traditional if you just want to use a basic sentiment. So you can also do that there. And then these just have some really nice sentiments for like thinking of you or for sympathy. So I do think this is a great set to have in your stash. But so you can buy everything separately, but if you get the bundle, there's also an embossing folder here, and that's exactly what it looks like when it embosses, and the dies that come with the set fit right in there, and that's what we're doing here. I'll go into the cards, but you'll see that. See that? It's hard to see because I did it white on white. I absolutely love white on white. So again, you'll get everything in the kit, and if you don't have this stamp set, just replace it with anything from your stash. Okay. Also, there is the Hues of Blue flowers. So these are like hard plastic. If you can see the thickness of them, they're a hard enamel plastic sort of, and they come in a few different shades here of blue. So they're kind of cool. And then this ribbon is gorgeous, although I did not use it in the kit this month, but I will definitely be using this, but it is a gorgeous ribbon. And then let me show you some of the DSP. So these are great. You get 2 of each. That's one. That's the other. I love that backside. I don't think I used it. I didn't, but I'm going to make some more cards with that. And this one. So you get 6 different designs, 2 each. So the colors in this palette are Basic Beige, Color Cloud, which I absolutely found a love for while working on and designing this kit, Crumb Cake, Misty Moonlight, Pecan Pie, and Secret Sea, which is another one of my, I love Secret Sea. All right, and now, so the DSP, that is available. That's Peaceful Garden, item number 165917. Now, also this amazing glitter cardstock set came out, and you get 2 of each, so you get a total of 6 sheets. Are you ready? This is just named Blue. Okay, so Blue, love this. And what I love about it is the glitter, nothing comes off on your hand. It's glitter's not allowed in my craft room. All right, and this is dark gray, love it. And then this one is soft green. I used a lot of this already. I think I used my other 12 by 12 sheet. So you get 2 each of these. This is available right now. It's called the Peaceful Garden Glimmer Paper DS 12 by 12 set, item number 165929. All right. I think I showed you everything. Let me get my desk in order here so we can get down to showing you the cards of what we are going to make. So if you have this set already, you can simply, if you're like me and you're a visual learner, you can kind of just get the dimensions on yourself just by looking. But we're going to make this gorgeous card. I've used this design before, and I thought this was the perfect bundle to bring this design back. So that's card 1. Very simple, elegant cards. This is card 2. Here's this white on white, and I use the embossing folder here. Love that. Kind of hard to see. It's so bright here, but you get the idea. And and I did some silver heat embossing, so we're going to do that. And then we're going to touch our embossing brushes, because I cannot get through a class without touching my embossing brushes. And I just here lightly inked that embossing folder. So this was basic white, and I just used did I use Night of Navy? Yeah, I used Night of Navy here. So, and another thing, not lots of supplies for this class. So if you do want to make them exactly the same, I only use 2 ink pads. So I use Night of Navy and Secret Sea. That's it. I used the again, the sentiments from Peace on Earth. I did make one of mine a little holiday-ish. So I used, where is that stamp set? I just used from my stash, the Jolly Holly. I just used this stamp right here. But again, you can just substitute with anything you have in your stash. And that's what's great about this card kit. Just beautiful designs, but super, super easy. So we are going to get started. We're going to, let me put these in order. Yep. We're going to move to card 1. That's what we're going to start first. And I'm going to pull out all my little bits and pieces. So this is exactly what you will get in the kit. If you purchase it, just purchase it outright, or if you earn it free by shopping with me, this is exactly what will come to you. So that's the purpose of my class, is I make the cards and I go through everything. I'm going to sit down. I make the cards and go through everything. So if you do come back because you pick up this kit at a later date, or you earn it this month and you receive it next month, I create this video so that you can come back, and if there are any little quirky things that you need to know, you'll see me mess up a few times. It's all good. We're not perfect, right? Wood crafter is perfect. And I do have my directions next to me, right? I designed this already a little bit since I made them, so I may need to refer back to my directions as well. Okay, so here's the pieces that you're going to get. How beautiful. How beautiful, right? So I'm just going to pull these out. Oh, and on this card, we have an inside. I love that, with deepest sympathy. And I put one of those dies. Don't be afraid to adhere down some dies inside your cards. That's a little tip, right? You have this other small branch. Oh, there's my UPS guy. It's giving me a delivery. I wonder what I got. It's probably Amazon. Okay, so I went with, you can do this with any paper. So this is just the back side. It's easy to use one DSP and just cut 8 of the squares so that 4 are for one side and 4 are the other. And the papers usually coordinate, so that makes it work super, super easy. So that's what I have here. And then I just have my other layers. I have these little sparkles. These are dies that come with the set, these little sparkles there. And then you will have your card base, and I also give you envelopes in each one. So I'm just going to grab my card base, my layers here, and this is that Misty Moonlight, and this is Cloud Cover. It's like I guess it's a blue. I first thought it was a gray, but when you layer it with the blues, you really get that blue come through. I don't have this in the ink pad. I only have it in the cardstock. And playing with this, well, designing this card kit, I only had cloud cover in what I receive in the pack when you buy the multi-pack. And I placed an order and ordered an entire pack of this because you can use it as a gray, you can use it as a blue, you can use it with greens. It really just coordinates well. It's just an odd color, but it works well, if that makes sense. So, all right. And I like to do this for your kits. Because I pre-cut, if you pick up the kit, sometimes the inside and the outside layer of white slightly or an eighth of an inch smaller or different. So I do put it on the inside. So when you see that, I just try to make it easy for you. That is your inside layers. So we are going to adhere these two together. I'm just going to put that aside for a minute. These two are going to adhere together. And then this is our building layer. So I'm just going to put that to the side a moment, and I'm going to start building these two layers. So these two are going to adhere together. There's my seal. Very, very simple. And listen, you guys, I have not mastered changing my seal super quick, and I'm sure I'm about to run out of this jammy. So if I do, I have other tape runners waiting in the wings to, oh, that's a little off-centered, waiting in the wings to save me that, because everything always happens when you're on camera, right? This is just an eighth of an inch. I love eighth of an inches, but sometimes they're a little hard to work with. So now this layer will completely cover your card base. And how I do that is, so I'll do it without putting the ink on, ink. I always say that. Get your words straight, Stacy. Without putting the adhesive on the back of my base right here. So I would put my adhesive all on the back of this layer, and then I would hold these two in my hand, close up there, like this. And see how they're just resting against the sides of my hand, and they're definitely even. And then I just guide them together. Well, I just moved it. But when you guide it together, they would perfectly line up. So I'm just going to do it. I have to do it quickly. So I just wanted to show you without adhesive on the back of this, because you don't have too much time. And I'm putting a lot of adhesive on the back. I know. I use a lot. Please don't talk to me about foam tape. All right. So I guess UPS has a lot of deliveries because he's still parked in front of my house and he left. All right. So I'm just lining this up. Who's calling my phone? Okay. Good. I'm off a little smidge right there. That's okay. And what I can do if that really bothers me, I can trim that off if I want, but I think it's okay. It's my daughter. All right. Next, we're going to just get our card out of the way for a minute. I'm going to bring in this layer right here. And I'm going to do my stamping. So here is with sympathy, I have to grab. Oh, I was like, Stacy, why don't you have your stamps loaded up already? Usually I have them ready to go, but I cleaned these all last night. All I did was take a wet wipe, like a baby wipe, an unscented baby wipe, and cleaned all of my acrylic blocks. They come out, it comes out absolutely beautiful. Did I use Secret C? I did. I love this. I love this color. It's not black, but it looks black. I don't know. I love it. All right, so I'm just going to stamp with deepest sympathy at the top, and I have to shush, hush, and move it along because I don't want this to go much over an hour. Okay, and I like to put it kind of at the top. Beautiful. How gorgeous is that? All right, and now we are going to, since I have this out, let's stamp. Grab that cloud cover square, right? Make sure we're on the stamping layer. Yeah. I'm going to layer up, sending big hugs. Oh, no, big hugs for a good friend. So I'm going to grab this stamp and I'm going to grab that sending and I'll show you what I do. We're going to line that up. So I'm just going to put sending down and big hugs for a good friend. And so what I'm doing is I'm just lining these two stamps up and then I'm going to pick it up with my block so that they're together. Do you see what I did? And then I can press down. So now my stamp says sending big hugs for a good friend. Okay. So I'm just going to ink that up. And I did not even pull out anything to clean my stamps as I go along, but I'm only using two colors. So you kind of want to center this. Beautiful. The font in this set is gorgeous. Okay, that's all the stamping we have for this card. So I can close this up now. And we're going to put those together. All right, we're going to grab now our layer, just layer these two together. Again, all the directions to create all these layers will be included in the tutorial. I use a lot of eighths and quarters. You need to know when you're creating cards that replicating that I'm making, you got to know where that 3/8, 5/8. I love my eighths of an inch. Okay, now we are going to come in with our card base and just get this on the inside, and then our inside of our card will be finished. This is a beautiful card. Actually, a good friend of mine just lost her stepdaughter. So I need a card. Okay, we are ready to build the front of our card. So what we're going to do is you're going to grab that white layer and you're going to come in with your square. So I first start to just set up. These are all the same. I think they're 1¼ by 1¼ So you're just alternating your pattern. 3 across the top. It's going to be 4 down the side and then 3 across the bottom because that big square is going to go in the middle there. And it all just perfectly fits in. So just so you have a visual of where these should be placed, I would get that all kind of lined up first as best as you can. Now you're going to knock it around, and I have very shaky fingers. Hence, I drink too much coffee. Take a sip. Okay. Hey, Gab, you were just calling me. Hi, AJ. Oh, dear Lord. Okay. So we're lining these up just like that. Okay. So now when you kind of have that down and just that space in the middle, just take that first one and start adhering them. Get some tape on the back and just leaving a little bit of a border around it, just like that. And just try to eyeball it as best as you can. Okay. Ah, my nails are too long. I have to use I have to grab my tweezers. Where is my tweezer? Right here. This is so much better. So much better. Okay. All right. And the next one. That's why I have nails on and I get them done because I bite them. And then I come on camera and my nails look like garbage. Oh, I think I am running out and I don't know how to do it quick enough to do it on camera. Okay, so we have our pattern there. We're almost done. This card is very easy. You can duplicate this multiple times. I've made this birthday cards. I like it to try to get it as perfectly even as I can. I'm going to pull that one off. I pulled it perfect. I pulled it a little yank was all it needed. Shut up, AJ. I know you're going to have something funny to say. Oh, Crafty Diva never looks like garbage. Thank you. Okay. This way or this way, whichever way you want to do it, but we're going this way. All right, I need some of my dimensionals. We are going to pop this up right here. All right. So now these foam squares work adhering to the glitter, so it's fine. Some adhesive does not work, but I found and I tested that our dimensionals do. Okay, so now what I'm going to do before I adhere that, I'm going to grab my card base and I'm going to adhere this now to the front. Again, you're going to have a little bit of 1/8 of an inch here, so as best as you can, try to even it up. Okay. And now I'm going to adhere this piece right in the middle here. Okay, so now I'm going to take this branch and I would use liquid adhesive because you want to be delicate. You don't want to run your tape runner. And I probably have to poke mine. Just do a few dots. Not too much. You don't need too much. And put that on the inside. So pretty. It just makes your inside of the card look so pretty. All right, now, same thing. We're going to take this little branch right here, and we just want to get a little bit of glue on the back. And you're going to put this one right there. And you're going to take these little stars. How I would do this is put a dot of glue where you want to put one. So put your dot first and then put your sparkle. And we have one up here and one over here. And if any of the glue starts poking out on the side, that's fine because it dries clear. All right, last is our dove here. Now look, when this die cuts out, if you could see there's cuts between the wings. So what I was doing on my cards is I was just like folding up the wings. You know, when you put it in an envelope, it's going to get flattened, but sometimes, you know, people give these just as gifts. But how pretty is that if it's sitting on your card and the wing, see how it has more of a edge to it? So you want to put in one of your dimensionals right in the middle there. And you don't need to put a dimensional on his wings. You can if you want them to stay down, but it's okay if they aren't. And he's going to go so pretty. All right, card one, that is it for card one. I'll clean up and move this out of the way. And we're going to move on to card two. All right, so card two, sending help, heartfelt prayers. Again, you can change that up to whatever you prefer, but this is what's going to come in your little kit here. And I'm going to need my, okay. So we need sending, but we're going to swap out the big friend or whatever that said, good friend. And we are going to get heartfelt prayers. Load that up on our block. Let me just go get a piece of scrap. Is that even? Nope. I'm trying to even this up. I have to do it closer. Sorry. Okay. I think we are good. Okay. Perfect. Sending heartfelt prayers, and we're using the same color ink. I'm using Secret C, so I don't need to clean off that sending there. It's going in the same thing, but I do not want to get ink on my card because the next card is all white. Okay. So very, very easy, simple card design here. This is what I was giving you in this card. So here are your pieces. We're just going to layer these together. So let's start building our card. No inside on this one, but you can absolutely create your inside. All right, so the way I do this is this layer is going to butt up exactly with the back there. So the best that you can get it. We're just covering the entire front panel. And then this piece fits perfectly right there. Okay. And again, it's okay if you have a smidge that's off. A lot of mine are. Ask AJ and Gabby, they'll tell you Crafty Diva is blind. Right? I can't see anything. Everybody's always making fun of me. So, all right. But yeah, I have a little tiny smidge there. That is okay. That is okay. All right. So now this little strip right here is, I don't like when they just, I mean, it seams up to one another, but I like to always cover it. I use lots of glitter strips for this, or here I'm just using the coordinating DSP because it just looked really nice. It had that cloud cover color and like marble print to it. And I'm just putting it right over the middle to cover that seam. I just think that finishes off the cards pretty. Okay. All right. So with our dies here, these are the beautiful frames that come in. Let me move out a little bit. That come in the die set. So they're just layered, probably about a quarter of an inch bigger than one another. So just very pretty. So I used that dark glitter paper, and then this is Secret C here. So again, we're going to stamp and then layer these two together with some foam. So I have my Sending Heartfelt Prayers. And you can change this to say whatever you would like. This would be a beautiful sending holiday wishes, Merry Christmas, anything. Ooh, I got lots of ink on that. Yuck, yuck. I pushed too hard. Okay, sending heartfelt prayers. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay, I am going to put some dimensionals on that. If you're still watching with me, are you crafting today? What do you have on your plate? I'm doing this class, and then I have to prepare for Tuesdays for my 8 weeks of Christmas card making series. I have to decide what I'm making, and I'd like to prep that out and not be up against the wire like I am every single week, because it's my husband and I's anniversary on Monday. So we're, we have some plans for the weekend, and I'd like to just get that off my plate. Okay, so here what I did was, you're going to need Scotch tape. So just regular Scotch tape. And you're going to have two branches that come in your kit. And what you want to do is, one's going to poke out the top, and we want one to be poking out the bottom. And the easiest way to do that is just use Scotch tape. So we're going to turn this over. And I have these laid out where I want it. So I have my top one poking out the top and my bottom out the bottom. And I'm just going to put a piece of tape right there and right there. Scotch tape is something that should always, always be sitting on your craft desk. All right, so we have that. And you want to be mindful. Oh, wow, I did that perfect. Look at how perfect I did that. I amaze myself sometimes and I crack myself up. But you should have, don't follow Stacy, right? Do as I say, not as I do, because you should have first laid that out on your card to make sure your branches here did not hang over. But I couldn't have planned that any more perfect, right? It's right to the edge. Perfect. I'm a comedian. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, I don't quite want to push. I feel like you have to push really hard with this, so I'm just going to put some liquid glue. I'm going to use liquid glue to adhere this to my card base, because I don't need this to pop up. You can certainly pop it up. That would be an idea. But for me, I'm just going to try to get this as best as I can in the center. Without going over. I think that looks pretty good. Okay. And I didn't adhere my branches. I didn't put glue on them. You can. I mean, I should have did a little bit. I'll do a little drop. It's really not needed. Really don't have to do that. It's fine. As long as this adheres down, you're good. Okay, next we're going to take those. These are the two doves that you get in the with the dies. They're absolutely beautiful. I've seen cut these out of glitter. I've saw these cut out of the glitter pack. They are absolutely gorgeous. All right, so we want this one down here. Again, if you want to, mold those wings to come up a little bit, just like that, we're going to put one dimensional right in the middle and put him at the bottom, just like that. And then this guy, we kind of want his body leaning. So you want the dimensional more on his wings here, but also this one, definitely, curl those wings up. The feathers, I mean. So we want our dimensional more up here. So I'm going to put the dimensional there because his body is going to sit on the card. I'm just going to put a little tape runner there also. So pull that backing off. Perfect, just like that. And then we are going to grab some of these. So I used the darker ones, and I believe those are a secret C. So we're going to put a large and a small in two places. So I used 4. So I put a large one here and then a little one cascading down. And then on the sentiment, same thing to match. One at the top and one just cascading down. Simple, elegant. And that finishes card 2. Okay, moving on to card 3. We're going to emboss. Oh, I have to clean Peace on Earth. Let me clean my stamps and just get this out of the way and get my scrubber. Here's my scrubber. So makes this so easy. Wet side, dry side. Wet side, dry side. Okay. I'm going to stand a little bit. All right. So we want Peace on Earth. So we are going to grab color 3. No. All right. So again, here's our front pieces. Look, I have those pieces on the inside, that white, that's for your inside piece. Did I grab the wrong card? I did. This is card 4. We're doing card 3. Excuse me. Not this one yet. We're doing this one, all white. This is going to be super fast, but we're going to bring in that embossing machine. Not super fast because we're going to do some embossing. Look, all we have to this is our card base and one layer. How awesome is that? But where did I put my, oh my, but Jesus, I don't have I did cut them out. Where did they go? My pieces, where did they go? Where are you, my doves? All right, well, we're going to do are they in the package? I don't know. My desk is a mess now, and I know I cut these out, but they are not here. So that's fine. No worries. We're just going to cut it out really quick. I have everything. So I'm going to need 2 of the birds in my white. So I'm going to grab those. And I need both of these frames cut in white. Everything we're doing is white, white, white. So I'm just going to use my electronic machine over here just to make this quick, because I don't know what happened to my original ones. And I know 100% I definitely cut these out because I remember using all the white. Oh, I don't want to cut it like that. Let's do it like this. Get the best use of the paper. There we go. All right, I'll be right back. Let me cut these out and then we can make this card. It's not going to take long at all. Oh, so much for my magnetic plate. Okay. Intermission. Okay. So here's our pieces with our beautiful dove. And then here's that other frame and the other dove. All right, we make it work, right? And let's pop out this dove. Okay. No worries. Okay, so now we have our two pieces. These two are going to pop up and layer together, and our two doves. So we're going to move all that to the side right now. All we have to do is take that big layer here and we're going to emboss that. So we're going to dry emboss this piece. We're going to heat emboss our sentiment. So let's do our dry embossing first. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Up cut and emboss machine. Okay, I'm just going to put it sideways because I have the big one just so you can see and it's easier to see. So here is the embossing folder. This is a 3D embossing folder. So I'm going to line my paper up and I want it to be in this direction. So I'm just lining my cardstock up with the Stampin' Up line right there. So there's a black line that runs through Stampin' Up, and that's how I set it up. Now, this is where my embossing folder opens. So on the sealed end, that's the side that runs through first on your emboss. It doesn't matter which side of the platform you use, but you always want to make sure it's the sealed up side running through first. You're also going to take your number 1 plate and your number 4 plate. Okay, so the sandwich is just your number 1 base plate. Then you put your embossing folder and then your number 4 plate on top. And you're just going to run that through. And this machine runs these embossing folders through like butter. You didn't even hear anything. So let me get that out of the way. For the 3D embossing folders, I love this. I only use this mostly for my 3D. I have my electronic cutter. I have a small one I bring with me. Look at how beautiful that is. I'm going to have to hold it sideways so you can see the detail. Gorgeous. Okay, so now all we're going to do here is layer this together. Really hard to see, I know, the glare with just using white on white. So we're just going to adhere these two together and then we will heat emboss. So if you've never heat embossed before or you forgot, like me, a couple years ago, I was like, man, I forgot to do that. And I do it all the time now. All right. So we're just going to line this up. Try to make equal parts hanging out. If you want to pop that up, you certainly can pop that layer up, but how gorgeous is white on white? Hi, Susan, how are you? Hi, Janice. Yeah, let me show you again, Janice, on the embossing folder. Now that my paper's out, where did I put it? It'd be easier to see. See that line right there? Yeah, that's where I line everything up. Um, this is an envelope, but if it was a piece of paper, it's fun putting it in there. I just see this, I let the bottom flap and I line it up with that. I always line it up with the Stampin' Up line and then close it. And then the Stampin' Up logo on top, you're always going to get the embossed side, and then underneath is the debossed side. So hopefully that made sense. All right, so now you can take that larger frame of the two white and you can just get some adhesive going on that, because that's just going to adhere flat down to the paper, to the card. I did not do any dimension there. And if you see there's a cutout, you just want to fit that perfectly in there. Okay, just like that. So you'll see the line I'm talking about, and then it makes like a little indentation around it. Let me see if you can see that. See right there, that little mark? Up close, you'll know. All right, now let's grab that smaller one. Let me grab my embossing supplies. So I have an embossing buddy. I know lots of us have that in our stash. I have my freshly juiced up Versamark. I needed to re-ink that, so I have the little re-inker for Versamark. Let me show you that. I'll tell you, I don't know if you've ever done this. This was my first time inking up a Versamark. I've inked up lots of stamp pads, but inking up a Versamark, and this stuff, you guys, is so thick. When I tell you I was squeezing and squeezing, and this is new. And all I did, you can kind of see, I just filled it up with lots of dots, and I kept going like this, quite a bit. Not too much. Maybe it's up to here now. And I just put the cover on. I've embossed since, and it did juice it up nice. But it is very thick. It's definitely not like regular re-inkers, obviously, but it's very thick. All right, so if you have these embossing buddies, you just want to take this, and before I do any heat embossing, I always rub it with that. What that does is there's a powder in that pouch, and it doesn't um the embossing powder doesn't stick where you don't want it to. Okay? That's the easy way to put it. All right, so we are doing Peace on Earth. I'm just laying that down, picking it up with my block. Okay, Peace on Earth. I'm going to be using our silver embossing powder. I have my heat tool, and I'm going to get ready to rock and roll. So all you do now is you're just going to ink this up with that Versamark ink. It's very sticky. Okay, so when you have that good and juiced up, you're going to come in. Oh, I always use a coffee filter. What am I doing? I didn't even stand. Oh, Cece. Hold on, you guys. Listen, one thing you're not going to get with me. I am not going to learn how to edit videos. So if I mess up, you just got to hang with me. I will work it through, but I am not going to learn how to edit videos. Okay. So you have to stamp first so that your embossing powder has something to stick to. That would be truly the smart thing to do, right? Right. Okay. Now you sprinkle your glitter. And guess what did I not do? Oh no, I did. Never mind. Ignore me. Okay. Okay, so what I do is I just let it sit on there for a second or two or three or four or five, and then I kind of pounce it off. Now, if you have see, I need a little bit more on the E, just go back in. See? You can do a little flick, whatever. All right, I'm going to close up. Well, here's how the coffee filter works. So now you have all that in there. And if that got all over your desk, it would be madness, mayhem, anarchy, whatever you want to say. If that got all over my desk right now, I'd be so mad. All right, so you just dump that back in where it belongs. Close it up, because once you turn on these heat guns, right? All right, I apologize for the noise. Let me grab so I can hold this and you'll see the magic. Cool, cool. Listen, people do it from underneath, on top. I do it right on top. Nothing burns. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Okay, now we're going to need those Stampin' Dimensionals again. And we are going to put a few on the back side. And get this going. And then bring in our card again. And just layer that. So pretty. Okay, then from my stash in the card kit, you'll receive 2 of these, but I'm sure everybody has gems of some sort. It's just I have not found yet a replacement, and my CTMH stash is running slim, ladies. I haven't found yet ones that I like. So you're just going to put 2 of them in the corner there, in each corner. And then you're going to take your doves, and one's going to be flying up that way, and one is going to be going this way. Same thing, you want to put a dimensional on the wings right at top. You want to maybe add a little bit of glue on his body so he sticks to the top of the card well. Just like that. And then this guy, you just need a dimensional in the middle. And just like that. How simple and elegant is that? So you can absolutely add more to this card if you want when you get the kit, but that is card 3. And now we are moving on to our final card, which I originally pulled out, which was incorrect, but that belongs to card 4. All right, so let me clean up my desk and let me get my sentiment that I am using. May the spirit of Christmas, again, I'm using from my Jolly Holly, so I'll get that ready to go. Also, I think I do some inside stamping on this card. Yes, I also from this set, I love this Merry Christmas. It's a great size. It's a great font right there, Merry Christmas. So I'm using that one for the inside. Now, if you don't have this set, again, use something from your stash. Clean this. So I put that one away. I clean my stamps. I sell all of my stamps to my customers. And yes, they may look red because certain colors ruin stamps, but everything is always clean from me. All right, so Merry Christmas. How I did that was, again, you bring in a piece of paper or envelope. I won't tell anybody. And you want to line up your stamps. So I want Merry in the middle, and then I want Christmas kind of underneath. Okay, when it looks good, you could, actually, I'm going to swap blocks. Put your block and pick it up. There's Mary. Same deal with any stamp. That's how I do it. Just like that. Okay, so those two stamps we're going to use. I am using my Night of Navy ink on this card. All right, so here we have our pieces and our inside. So let's get our inside going. Let me get that Merry Christmas stamped. Okay, right there for the inside. How beautiful. Let's get that inside going there and we'll do Merry Christmas. That was kind of at the top. I love to stamp at the top. I think I've told you that. Pretty. Okay, so now I like to do things sometimes out of order that you may have them on your assembly guide, but I do it this way because that's just how my brain works. And I feel that as I'm crafting, I try to simplify and reduce as I go along. So, like right now, I can get the inside of my card done, right? So, I want to get that done, at least the stamping part, because there's more to the inside here, but we'll decorate later. Okay, so now I can move that off to the side. So now I'm going to bring in all of these other pieces. So I already went ahead and embossed this layer. This is how it will come in your kit. You will already get an embossed layer. So we're going to need that. We're going to do some inking, but we're going to do some stamping on this layer. So we can do that. We can process of elimination and do that. These are just our doves, and then one branch for the inside, one branch for the outside. We'll save all of this for decorating. Let's get this stamp stamped up. So you want to rotate your frame so it's portrait style. And this stamp I'm going to try to get as centered as I could. This one was a little off-centered, but it hugged a little bit to the left. I want to do this one a little better. So I'm going to bring it in closer to me. I think I did good. Perfect. Okay. So now we can get rid of that and we can move this off to the side. All right. So let's bring in, you're going to need a piece of scrap, and let's bring in that embossed layer. I have a blending brush for my Night of Navy, and I have my Night of Navy ink. So okay, I'm going to first talk you through this. I have to sit, my back is killing me. So I don't want this dark at all. Now, you can absolutely go to town, make it as dark as you want. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. Cheers. But I do want to get this super light. And I tried as hard as I could to not make any type of how do I say it? Like the hard blotchy looks that you get with ink blending sometimes. And you know I talk about them in all my videos. But I tried as hard as I could, and this was my second one. I did one and I did not like it at all. It had lots of hard edges and lines, and it was making a hard dark line around the edge. So if all of that made sense, or if not, just stick with me for a second. But I want you to get ink on your brush. Don't be afraid. But then I want you to kind of take it all off. So I just want the brush to get nice and juiced up. That's probably the only amount we're going to need. And then I want you to kind of just rub it all off. All right. I just want it blended in the brush, like ombre in the brush, so to speak. All right. So when you think you have a good amount of it off the brush, then you're going to start inking off and come in. So, because I just want a very light layer, and you're just going to focus around all the outside because the inner is going to be covered by those frames. Okay, and I am not pressing hard at all on my brush because if I pressed hard, I would get those dark edges coming off the side. And I'm trying not to get that. I don't want my edge of this layer to look like I inked it, if that makes sense. So see, I went a little hard right there, but that's okay. See how it got a little darker? That was a little too much, but a little too much for me. And like I said, that was enough ink on the brush. And then fill into how it's desired to you. So, yep, I mean, the corners got much darker, and I think the corners are raised more, so it's picking up more of the ink, and that would make sense. But I think that is enough for me, and that's all I was going for. So ink your brush up, then take it all off. All right, now we're going to come back in with the inside of um we're going to come back in with our card base, but I'm going to grab one of those branches, right? And I'm going to put some wet glue on the back because I just want to put that inside my card. What time do I have? Oh, it's 12 o'clock. I'm at an hour. I'll be done in a few minutes. We're good. We're so good. I did good today. So, like I said, this is my last card class virtually for 2025, but this isn't my last video. I will have videos that post. I kind of give myself a little bit of grace in December. I have a lot going on personally. I know we all do. So, November is a time for me to get everything ready for 2026. I'm changing things up a little bit for 2026 in my business. So you'll all hear about that. So be sure to follow me. If you don't follow me or you're not part of my group, you'll find all the links to everything is on YouTube. But if you're watching this, you can stop the video and pause. Here's a QR code. This is how you can shop with me on Stampin' Up. So if you just scan that QR code, that'll bring you to my Stampin' Up website. This one will bring you to my CraftyDivaUSA.com website where you can buy all my instant downloadable tutorials or pre-cut kits. And then this will bring you to my private Facebook group where you can join. Also, like I said, links are everywhere. Social media, go in my main about or description. You'll find all my links to join my newsletter and all of that. So we're just going to adhere this straight down to the card base, no dimensional or anything. Lots of things are happening. Stampin' Up is going to be starting a new like stamp of the month or product of the month program in December. So you definitely want to follow and join my newsletter. I believe it's a $75 threshold will unlock the ability to purchase a product of the month. So anyone who's been following me since close to my heart, remember we had the stamp of the month, something like that. So that's in December. So be sure to follow to find out more. And as I get more information, I will definitely share it. And I share everything on my I send out one big newsletter a month, and that's everything for the month. And then I send out my card class in a newsletter, and usually that's all from me. So this we're just gonna get some glue adhesive, and we're just gonna put this straight down to our card base. It's going to line up so pretty. All right, and on our sentiment layer, okay, so I then took my brush and I inked this up as well. Just whatever was left on here. So it wasn't white. All right, and then we're going to pop up some dimensionals on the back of this one. So this sits on our card a little higher. So pretty. Okay, now I'm going to take that other branch and I'm going to get some, I'm going to get some glue on the back of that. All right, so I'm going to put this right on my card. You really gotta, I might need to put a little bit more. Hold on. I gotta flip it over. This is great, the silicone mat for that. I kind of just rub it here. Okay. Because if I kept touching it, it was going to get all jammed up. Perfect. Okay. Cute, cute. All right. So final touches, we are going to grab those beautiful doves. Now I have these little bitty sparkles again from my CTMH stash. You may have these, but they were super tiny enough to just give that little sparkle. And I put as the dove's eye, just right there. So as long as these are available in my stash, you'll get them and I'll use them. Just want to put a little eye. I know if I really search, I'll find something. Okay. Same thing. We're just gonna have him kind of, I'm just gonna put, watch what I do. I'm just gonna put a dimensional right there because that's where I need, and then I'll just place him down. Let me show you that a little closer. So I put my dimensional. I know my element's going to totally cover it up. So that's where I want my dimensional. I just put it and then I stick my element down. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the head, just right there, just a little bit. Again, if you want to curve those up. Perfect. And then this one, so a lot of the wing, you want to eyeball this to make sure you're not going off the card, right? So you want his wing to kind of go like that. So you want a dimensional in the center, like let's put it right there and see how that works. See? Perfect. Yep. So you can always put your dimensional first and then your element. Great. That is a very simple, elegant card. Now you're going to come in with, I use that neck shade there. Same thing. We're going to put a big one and a small one at the bottom. Then we're going to take a big one and put it at the top. And then that last small one on the inside, the eye for Christmas, I just put it over. It's like that. And that, my crafty friends, is card number 4. So let me bring in all of the cards again. I hope you enjoyed today's card making class and putting these cards together. So that is card 4 we just made. Here was card 3, that beautiful embossed, very simple white on white. I love white on white cards. That's card 3. This was card number 2. Very just simple design. This was a very easy, duplicatable, replicatable, replace the adjective card. And then my favorite is this pattern. This is just a great pattern for this. I just think it goes really well with the papers and the sentiments. I don't know. It was just a perfect design. As soon as I sat down to design this, I thought that is the card I'm making. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this class. I hope you pick up my kit. Like I said, tutorial will be ready on my website in probably about an hour. So you can download that right away, CraftyDivaUSA.com, and placing an order with me, you can earn this free or you can pick it up. And again, thanks everyone for sticking with me. I made it through an entire year again. This is my second year doing monthly card classes virtually for using Stampin' Up! Products, and I do them in person as well. But more to come for this year, but the last class. But stick with me in January. This all starts back up again. All right, everyone, have a great rest of your Saturday and happy crafting. Bye now.